Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Decisive Campaigns Barbarossa Episode 2 as Germany. In the last episode we did an okay job, kind of pushed over the top. I have to say first of all that I thought that the first episode went a little bit too slow. I would like to go a little faster, get more done. But in this one we'll try to just make up for that a little bit. Nonetheless, what actually happened, I think most of the combat stuff was just about pushing over on us, and we're beginning to have the makings of a surround there. Unfortunately, although the Soviet human players, are kind of restricted by the same Army Group North, South, Center restrictions that they're not supposed to move out of their zones, I don't think that the AI is beholden to that. So although kind of what we have is a surround, we may see like an exodus through like the Vilnius area. I'm actually trying to gather up a backlog of recordings, so the first one hasn't gone out yet. This one will probably be recorded before even the first one goes out. I just want to try to get the first few episodes out in a reasonable amount of time, and I can only guarantee that by recording them ahead of time. But I really appreciate your comments, and there's a lot I still need to learn about this game. So please let me know about the different things. I'm not an expert. There's probably some mechanics that I'm missing, and you can kind of like guide me on those in the comment section. Okay, so let's go. We're going to start off by trying to do three-sided attacks for the most part now. We have this unit which can attack, and then these two. Three-sided, at least 3 unit attacks. Now the goal, and I should have actually started off with the goal because that's kind of important, and I think I also want this unit to move north. Technically they'll have a little bit of better exposure to different hexes next turn if I do it that way. But yeah, let's start off with the game plan. The game plan is very simple. Bialystok it's not really, but it's a very tiny salient and stretches out just a little bit. And we're going to try to push in the gap between Bialystok and the river in Grodno. We're also going to try to push upwards from Brest-Litovsk, over east of the forest here, east of the marsh, but also west of the big marshes. So we're just basically going to try to make a big surround. And that's going to require 3rd Panzer Group in the north to do their part, and it's also going to require 2nd Panzer Group in the south to swing north and complete the encirclement. We'll see how that goes. I meticulously plan before these episodes are recorded. I know exactly what I want to do, but it's truly an example of no plan survives contact with the enemy, that I have no idea how any of the combats are going to go ahead of time. I can plan in my head all I want, but if I end up not taking a territory that I thought I was going to take, we kind of have to adapt on the fly. And that's beautiful. That's the nature of war, so it's only fair that it happens in this little video game. Anyway, I don't even know if I showed the results for the first one, but this is off to a pretty good start, 2600. I wanted 3 especially to attack into this mountain, because low mountain is not a great place for our non-infantry folks to be attacking. Luckily for us, that was no problem. Okay, so you actually can move in there, and you can move in, and probably what we want to do is actually get a 3rd person over to attack this area, because that's 2 infantry, and we only have, I think, 2 people who are set up to attack, and that's just not sufficient. I'm not happy with that. So we could get this motorized to go over here and assist. There's also something to be said about maybe pushing this motorized out first, in which case I would bring armor in for that, because we like armor to do those kind of attacks. In fact, I probably will do motorized and armor, like so. And maybe even one of these guys who's weaker. Oh, we only have... Yeah, okay. Well, then we'll just have the infantry do it too. Perfect, 200 stack. So I guess rock, paper, scissors, we have all 3. And the game likes that. We exactly need the attack stack. Unfortunately, we lost a Panzer II and a Panzer III. We did eliminate another 2400. We are expecting this first turn to just be, the total decimation of Soviet forces. That's the expectation. So, we won't be happy with anything but. Alright, now we could do, unfortunately, just another 2-sided attack on this unit. So yet again, we're going to wait for some motorized to come in and help. Or do we even need that hex? Well, the downside of them holding that is that it will exert zone of control, and we don't like that in this little gap. So, if we can push it back, that would be nice. And I don't think we have any other infantry which is capable of attacking you and I'm pretty sure that's it. Well, I guess we can get the armor to help out as well. They kind of took, their nose got a little bit bloodied. Normally they're at 76, they're down to 73. I guess I will just do the attack with these 3 units and push these guys back who knows where. I mean, that was a very effective attack. We lost only 1 Panzer III for 5,000 Soviet troops down. Well, again, this first turn is going to be a slaughter, but that's a very good result. I'm quite happy with that. Because we have a bunch of infantry, I think I will spread them around. Man, this hex is it's asking to be attacked again because we can continue to rack up the massive kills. The follow-up attacks are really what ends up being quite potent. But I don't want to do any more attacks, I have to say, right now in that area. This infantry will probably move in, but we'll just get them later. What we need to do is have 9th Army get involved and help us push some of the infantry back into Bialystok. So we'll do that. We'll move 1 person over here, and we'll do the attack with 3 folks. And okay, that looked okay. 400 for 2,400. I'm not really going to even focus on the other casualties. I'm just going to use the infantry as representative. And they moved. Okay, they did move back here, which is good. That's into the forest. You moved in, and you move in, and oh, so that was everybody in that hex who did the attack. Whoops. Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe that wasn't so bad. I probably made a mistake by moving all 3 of them in here, though. Now, okay, 2 of them can do an attack, but 1 of them is going to be stuck here. Well, we can get a 3-sided surround on this unit if we end up attacking. I may not even want to do that. Let's do it this way. Let's do 1, 2, like that. Do his attack. That was effective enough. We didn't need the full surround. 200 for 2,200. I mean, kind of typical casualties on their side. Now this, boy, this force is getting very, very populated. Now we've done our job though. The infantry have pushed a little bit more of a gap where there's less under control now. So I guess it's up to, at this point, the Panzer Group to start pushing through this line. And we have this motorized, which we'd like to do something with. We'd like to come up here, and with this motorized as well, and push these guys. I'm actually going to stop you from attacking. I'm also going to stop you from attacking. I'm going to try to push them south in hopes that they actually go left. I'm not sure that they will. In fact, it's quite likely that they will not. But we're going to try it anyway. See what happens. Okay, so 3,600 infantry down. They took pretty brutal casualties here. And you can see our readiness was only at 78, not very high, but it was only lowered to 75. Okay, they did move back here, which is not great, but we also have the ability to do a follow-up attack. If I can get the right one. Okay, yeah, so we get to move in here for free. In fact, we've already even paid the oil cost to move in there, so it doesn't, there's like no downside to moving in once you've already completed the attack. I don't want my armor to be doing attacks into the forest because they are just not as effective there. You can see that there's percentage chances, I mean, the attacking modification is pretty low. So we're going to have them keep attacking motorized. Now we can do an attack against this motorized and this one. Which one do we want to do? I mean, we have 2 choices here, right? And again, I want to kind of push forces out of the way so that the later forces can get further and further. That's what we want to do. I think I'm going to attack this guy next. Push him off the map. I mean, push him off the map. I'm hoping I'll push him. I'm pretty sure I'm going to push him over the river. Okay, lost 2 Panzer IIs and Panzer III, but did eliminate another 2,600, so that was okay. I guess I could have been hoping for more there. Alright, we aren't actually going to be able to push this motorized out quite yet, but we have other individuals who have still not executed or, you know, done their turn yet. So let's go up here. Let's see, 90 versus 95. The advantage of going on the north is that I can push them back into the forest. Okay. You know what? If we can do an attack on this hex, which we can, I just need to get the right units involved. I would like to do an attack on this forest hex because then we can potentially, let's see, they have the only unit which is undamaged there is one of their armored divisions, which, you know, they're a little bit under strength. We can only get 3 to attack in there though. I would like to make that 4. And we definitely can make that 4. But I can't make it from another side unless I do an attack. Okay, you can't attack anymore. You can. So what I'd like to do is get... Oh, man. Okay, so 2 people can attack here, and you are already at 60. So if you move in there, you cannot attack from that side. We'll move you there. You're at 100. So I'm not seeing any way we're going to be able to get a 3-sided attack. I want to get this hex, but it's not going to work out. So we're going to have to do this attack. I think we'll do it with 4 people. It's pretty bad. Instead of doing that, let's just focus on who's the best. This is 99, 85, 185, 99, 86, 188. So the 188 is definitely good. I think we're going to remove this person and do the attack. We're just going to have to get a little bit lucky here. In fact, it almost makes me regret that I didn't. But anyways, let's just see if they can do it. Alright, it looks like they, my concerns were completely unnecessary. Wow, 6,400 casualties on the Soviet side, and we only lost 200. So yeah, I really did not need to worry about that, and things went a lot better than I expected. So we'll definitely move in anybody who did the attack. You as well. Alright, and you're by yourself. Yeah, we'll move in with you as well, and you're stuck there. And you can do an attack still. Well, this is only 1 unit. I think it's probably worth our time to do the attack. We can do it with 3, and then it's kind of like the thing we're doing. Okay, only 200 casualties. We eliminated 2,400. I mean, the ratios here are just insane, right? It's 12 to 1. They took a lot of losses. And, you know, it's actually a foregone conclusion if you can see what's happening here. The Bialystok pocket, although we're doing these attacks here on the western side, that's not really the important part of this. Obviously, the most important part of our plan is just to make sure we get to the east side, which is going to be a lot on the hands of 2nd Panzer Group. But for now, at least, we're just trying to do damage to the peripheral units, because lower readiness means lower action points in the turn to come, and that is pretty important. That is part of our plan, is to make sure that... I'm not sure, I guess I will put them there. Yeah, we want to make sure that we have that they have less action points, because that means that their ability to escape from a pocket will be less. Alright, let's switch efforts over to 2nd Panzergruppe, who's got a very important task here. In fact, their first job is, I'm going to take all 3 of the units in here. Again, rock, paper, scissors. We have the Panzer Group, motorized Panzer Division, motorized division, and an infantry division. And these 3 are just going to be making their merry way around Brest-Litovsk. At least that's the plan. So we're hoping for not a lot of casualties when we do these attacks, because the same 3 units need to... Oh my god, what a terrible start. Terrible start. 3 Panzer IIIs right off the bat, and 1 Panzer II. Anyway, they need to persist. Oh god, they're down to 71 combat strength already. It's exactly what I didn't want to have happen, but, you know, the point is, we need them to like, really persist. We lost another 2 Panzer IIIs. My goodness, they're just all falling apart here. Now, the infantry, who survived perfectly intact, unfortunately, cannot even go any further, so now the attack is just being done with 2 of our units, and, you know, they're a little weakened, but okay, that was a little bit better. Only lost a Panzer II there, and wow, we inflicted 4,000. I wasn't even really paying attention to the enemy casualties. I think it was probably in the 2000s the whole time. I don't remember, honestly, but that was good. So we'll move the armor and the motorized in, and I do want them to continue to do the attacks, but I'm a little nervous about this. We might actually get a helping hand from someone else. Now the next thing we need to start doing is pushing up these infantry out of the way, and I actually want to do that. I think I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to have 2 infantry go down here, and then this motorized go right here, and we'll do the attack 1, 2, and 3. My goal is to attack more from the south than the southwest, so that hopefully their forces retreat in the opposite direction of the higher unit count. I think that's the way it works generally. So 226, yeah, this is very normal. And they did go north, and that was the important thing. I wanted them to go north so that neither of these guys doing a follow-up attack? No. I want them to go north so that we can keep pushing them north. Now, same kind of deal here. We probably want to move... We got 3 infantry here. Let's move 1 over and then do the attack with 1, 2, and then just 1 guy from this side, even though we have more in there. And so far, the SS division, not too surprisingly, I guess, is performing very well and hasn't taken any casualties. In fact, even less surprising, nobody has retreated. You can see that the SS heavy infantry has its own unit type. There are different unit types for infantry. There's German infantry, Soviet infantry, which is basically the same. But much different than that, there's Romanian infantry. There's also the SS infantry. And they also have, I mean, there's lots of things you can do. If you want, you can click on the different units and get like an update. So that's SS infantry. You can see that was 25. These guys are 10-20, so a lot weaker. But the Romanian infantry is, instead of 10-20, is 8-16, so it's weaker still. So I mean, anyway, it's just not too important. But this guy can move in, and we will. Now in this hex we have. Why I'm not getting quite the. Yeah, so sometimes we must not have enough intel. Sometimes you can see their strength, sometimes you can't. I guess we don't have enough intel right now. We may want to push even like one of the further back Panzer. Oh, okay. Well, the Cav is probably going to go this way because I don't think anybody else is really going to be able to get that far. So we'll just do that right away. I mean, ultimately we need to at least try to take Brest-Litovsk on the second turn. It's just almost impossible to try to take it on the first turn. I think that if we did, if we tried, it would take a lot of casualties. Anyway, so this hex has 2 weakened infantry, and then probably this is just normal armor. But because armor's in there, I'm not averse to using an armored division. At the same time, we do also have a path now to this group, and I think that we'll do this attack first. So we'll do attack, we'll get the 3rd Panzer Division to assist in the attack. Push these guys out. Unfortunately, it did take a Panzer IV loss there. And a Panzer III, but look at that, another 4,400 down. And by the way, I don't know if I pointed this out, but this broken thing, this means the unit is shattered, it's completely obliterated, which you can also tell just by the fact that every single one of its units was destroyed. For the panicked also means that you're able to usually get in a lot of free kills and without taking any damage. And the normal retreated, well, that was from the HQ, so it didn't matter much, but we still eliminated 2 of their 5 staff units. Okay, so we could move up and continue to do attacks here. I don't even think we need to. Like, at this point, this is an HQ and an extremely depleted. It's only got like a few units left, including the ever-elusive T-34. It's very hard to kill those things. So I don't even think we need the assistance of these other units, and we'll just keep attacking with the 3rd Panzer Division. Okay, we won, and we didn't actually do all that much, which was... Look, we didn't kill a single... What the heck was going on there? And we actually lost a Panzer III, another Panzer III. This is like the saga of Panzer III death. Okay, well, we'll get another unit up there to assist at some point. You can see that I just keep saying that. We'll keep throwing more troops at the problem. But that is fine. I mean, that's what we plan to do. In this case, who can attack you so far is these 2. Well, there's no point in doing this attack yet. We can just do an attack on this Cav instead. Although, if I do this attack, I can attack 2 from this side and 1 from that, and this guy is going to go north instead. So let's actually do this attack. You are... Yeah, we're going to want... I'm going to bring up 1 more. And I feel very comfortable with that. Yeah, that's a kill. We did lose some of our SS infantry for the first time. But wow, 5,600 Soviets. I mean, this is just a massacre. Yeah, we'll get you to move forward. No reason not to. And you can do another follow-up attack. Here's another situation, though, where I think we would rather wait on this attack because I'd like to make sure we get the forest clear. I'd like to take control of that forest before doing anything else. So what I think I'm going to do is get the 18th to come... Oh, wow, we can't attack. We got to get this one first. Okay, that's fine. So now Hugo, let's get Hugo involved. He's the one who's writing those journals for us. So we'll do this attack. This is just against an enemy cav. Didn't take any losses. Eliminated 1,400. Didn't eliminate that many of them. But I think it's still, you know, mission accomplished. Interesting. I'm not even sure if we want to move with those guys, because we want to make sure we have a lot of troops positioned around Brest-Litovsk for next turn. But Hugo moved in, and you... Okay. And, you know, we might as well do the attack on this unit as well. Or... Yeah, okay, does that help? Now we see, the big difference is, previously we weren't able to do an attack on these units, but now we can. So pushing the zone of control back does actually make a big difference. I think I'm going to do this, yeah. I'm going to just go ahead and attack with the only unit I can. And our goal is to finish this pocket, and we're not... Gosh, we're just having such a bad time with this. Their readiness is down to 0 for crying out loud. But unfortunately, they got the better of us. We did not get as far as I was hoping we would. Can you get in? Okay, so if we need to, this is not great. Oh, we can also push up that way, which is good. And we actually have 2 units who can go in there. Plus, we still have a couple units over here, which we have. Yeah, this would be. Look at that. We can actually this. What can you do? You cannot do that, but this is very interesting. We can actually go all the way over here and do an attack. I don't know which direction these guys will go. I actually assume that they'll go back into the forest, which is crazy. So we will actually have encircled the entire unit at that point. And God, that's so tempting. I just can't not do it, right? And these guys are going to just fall apart anyway. Yeah, okay. 1 staff remains. Bummer. But anyway, we can do this. Now it doesn't matter who we attack with. I think I'll do the armor first, because there'll be a... Well, we can do it from here, which... How's my fuel doing? Down to 5,000. We've used a lot of fuel on this turn. This is much easier to do, so I'll just do this. Yeah, do that attack. They'll retreat down there, but that's okay. There won't be much left of them to defend in that forest. So yeah, I mean, they do have 5,000 troops still. 5,000 infantry. But much depleted in every other way. Readiness is way down. Are we able to do a follow-up attack? No. But, very importantly, we have now completed the surround. So the pocket is done. We've enclosed it. This is mission accomplished. All we really need to do at this point is reinforce. But, you know, if there's attacks of opportunity we can get away with, we'll keep an eye out for those. I don't know if there are... Okay, yeah, actually, we can do an attack on this forest, which is what I want to do then. Another part of me wants to send somebody down this path to like take Gomel as fast as possible. I might end up doing that with the 29th Motorized, which means the 17th Panzer Division is going to be responsible for going over here and attacking this forest, just to make sure that we don't have to attack it into it. I mean, it's very easy for them to defend. It's much easier to defend in the forest, you know, it's better for them. So now we got some boots on the ground there, which is going to prevent that. We can also... We only can do an attack with 1 from there, but we could... If I forsake my path to Gomel for 1 turn, I can get this attack, which... Is this... This is open plain, so I actually don't... The benefit of doing this attack, though, is actually going to be that we'll push them even further. That we'll basically close off the pocket even more. And that's a good thing to do, so let's do it. Did take a few casualties there. We did break, completely shatter the 42nd Rifle Group for the Soviets. And all the other units took a bunch of casualties as well, lowered their readiness. Again, that's very important to make sure that we can keep this pocket. That's the goal. I actually don't even need to move into that hex. I suspect that if we leave it open, they will try to move in. I don't mind doing that. I mean, just let them come out of the city. The city's going to be kind of brutal for us to fight in, so I'd prefer not to. And now we can, well, basically we can just keep doing our attacks. So that unit's going to attack from there. This one's going to go from there. We also, again, really got to make sure. So I think that this unit, who's capable of moving where? We have 2 infantry here, which have... I might move you back. I think I will. And I need 1 unit. Any 1 unit which can get there? No, there's none. Well, that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Can we get anybody... It's kind of like an oops moment. It's not a super big deal. I mean, what I could do... I could move up here just to prevent them from... You know what, actually, the farthest they can get is 1, 2. And then if we attack them, they'll just move back. So I don't expect that they're going to move out. We'll leave that as an open corridor for them to pretend to retreat out of. I don't think that they will do it. I don't think they'll be able to do it. My goodness, we went through 15k of fuel. We're down to only 2k, and we still haven't even finished all of our movement. In theory, I could do one more movement with this motorized, and I need to move my actual HQs as well. However, with this motorized, I suspect that, well, it is tempting to just go all the way over here. This only costs 390 fuel. I think I'll do that, just to gather as much territory as we can. So there, we're just, you know, every little hex we can take now is just, we're better off for it. Do the attack here. Yeah, well, we still do want somebody to go back, though. Who's the lucky one? I guess you. We'll move you over there. Oh, yeah, we can get over here, too. I'm going to call that plenty of people involved. Now we can do the attack. I don't need to do it from all sides. What's you're at 60 already. Well, we can, yeah. So we'll do the attack with Hugo, you, and you. That's going to be brutal. Should be a slaughter. And it was. And now because Hugo attacked that turn, that one, this person can still attack against that unit when we move forces in, which was all by design. Okay, now the attack with just 2 cav in this one. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, 60, 60, and we could do one more, but I guess we shouldn't, right? So we'll do these 2. Good, more casualties. Just weakening them for next turn. We know that the big coup de grace is next turn, not now. But this is already looking very good. You have movement strength. Hugo's already going to stay there. Yeah, you can move in. And now we have a 3-sided surround. I guess we can do it. Doesn't matter. We'll move this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do an attack from 3 sides again. Get a lot of... So basically Wow, whoa. I didn't realize that they had... I should have moved more forces in. But that's okay. We actually probably even got lucky since they panicked. But we did take 1,200 losses. That's a ton of losses. That's like 4 battles worth of losses for us. But it was at the enormous cost of Soviet infantry, 8,200. Now the downside is we've forced them all into this little box. So probably the best thing for us to do is not even to move in there, but I'm going to. Yeah, I think we still will. Okay, Hugo's left all alone. This guy has to move in there too. And you are only capable of going here or up here. I think we'll move you down here. I really do want Brest-Litovsk to fall next turn. And we'll get the HQ to 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we'll move them here. And actually probably need to do the same thing with this unit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so we don't mind being, we want to be at least 5 hexes, or no more than 5 hexes away from units at the end of our turn, because that's the supply limit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This unit has to move down. In fact, better even if we can get them here, because then they'll be closer to this road, and it's easier to supply. Trucks like to move along the road, not through the, even though the plains isn't too bad. Okay, good. So that is Army Group Center. I think we finished it. I don't know what else we have to do. I might look around and see if there's anything I missed, but this is a huge surround, and you can see we have 8 plus 6. We have 14 divisions or HQs or what have yous in this area. That is, I mean, an enormous loss upcoming on the next turn for the Soviets. Army Group South is unfortunately a fine pickle. It's a very difficult theater, and unfortunately it's also Hitler's number 1 priority. I kind of regret sending the Romanians on turn 1 because it's so hard to get any benefit out of their armies, because again, Romanian troops fight at 8-8, 8-16 instead of 10-10 for the German troops, 10-20. So it's much harder for them to get, I mean, that's 20% worse at fighting. Nonetheless, we gotta try our level best here, so we're gonna attack with like everybody. In fact, I wonder if I should do some shifting here. No, I really need to get across the river. Okay, part of the reason why things are so difficult for the Romanians is not only are they attacking equal force, you know, the inferior Romanians are involved. So we lost 400 Romanian troops, and actually we did end up killing a lot of Soviets. So that was a good attack. But this is exactly why I want to show you, is there's a river here, and it follows the border, so it's hard to see, but I mean, I guess people who know their geography already know this river exists. This is a difficult river to, I mean, as with all your war games, you know, river crossings are always difficult. And it's no different in this game, which means that you have a kind of a challenge to get across this river. And normally what happens is if you don't attack, the Soviets will actually retreat. They'll retreat from the river, and then you can kind of move across the river and do attacks that way. But if you're starting on the first turn, the Soviets haven't acted yet, so they haven't had any time to retreat yet. So you're kind of in this weird situation where you're wondering, like, what exactly should I do? Like this unit. I can attack, oh my god, with way too many folks, but let's just do this attack with everybody in here first. So I'm going to attack with this unit. I'll attack from this unit as well, in which case I'm actually going to roll back. No, I'm going to roll back on this unit. So we'll do the attack. We're now below the attack stack. Did I do that right? We're still attacking from 3 sides, yeah. Okay, let's do it. I'm just so fearful of these attacks. That went pretty well for us, though. 600 dead. I mean, you can see we're still taking more casualties, crossing rivers and all that. But 2,600, that's not too bad. And what their readiness is 20. Okay, I mean, it could be better. The big ask, by the way, if you're wondering what's going on, what am I trying to do? The big ask is to try to get this bridge taken this turn. Soviets can, on their turn, blow the bridge. We don't want that to happen. Also importantly, my supply is currently being ferried over the river. And that's not good for it. So, but I mean, can I just do this? Yeah, okay, good. So you can see that from the HQ, which is Berlin, we have this slightly yellow tint to our supply here, which means that we're not going to get as much supply. They're only going to get 75% of what they request. Now, if we take the bridge, we can go over the bridge, which means we don't take the huge river crossing penalty for supply, and that's just a lot better. Now, in order to cross here, we probably need to do yet another attack across the river on this side. I really do not want to expend all the infantry I have in, what city is this? Jassy? On attacks to the north and to the southeast. I want at least one infantry capable of doing this river crossing across the bridge, because then I don't have to use the armor, which would just be much better. So I'm going to move one infantry down here. That's going to be the one who does the attack with everybody else. And we're only attacking one armor, so I probably can even do one less armor attack, so I can do... This is 2, though. No, you know what? we gotta go full tilt. All the way in. Okay, that was good. 200 infantry, but this is an armor group. We actually killed T-34. Those slippery buggers. Which is very unusual to kill. And that's the important thing right there. We have infantry which is capable of doing a follow-up attack against this infantry, which is 2 infantry divisions. Now, we basically want everybody who can to attack here, so let's see if anybody else can attack. I don't think so. We do have 3 units which can attack here as well. Ooh, not you. But the 3 in here, none of them are going to be able to move north and attack, so I will just do this to get some ground. I basically push them back too. It wasn't super effective, but it also wasn't super bad. Alright, we'll get the Germans to move forward. I guess that makes sense. And then maybe one of my... Okay, we'll just get this guy. So we'll have those 2. And now we're getting close, you know? If we can take this city, we can definitely push across. So that's what we're trying to do here. Just get that done. And I've kind of been, like, dancing around this attack because I guess I kind of know it's not going to go well. I strongly fear it's not going our way. We may have to end up doing... There we go, the one left. We may end up having to do an attack with the armor as well. Because I don't think that we're going to be able to do it without the armor. Ugh. Okay, well, overwhelming support. The problem is that I really need the fuel for other things. So I'd rather not do this armor attack at all. But, okay, it's important to get across the bridge, I guess, so let's do it. Okay, 4,400 dead, we took 1,000, so you can see the casualties. I mean, we took 1,800. So it was barely 2-1, and that was like throwing everything in the kitchen sink at these guys. Alright, anybody who's still here can move across. I would love to just send this unit wildly out. It just can't do that, though. There's no support for it to do that. This is the unit which can cross. Yeah, movement 0. Your movement 0 is to go down here. It still does, I think, behoove us to just advance into this forest here. We won't gain any control of anything to do it. I mean, I would just maybe... Can anybody get into that? Okay, one person can get into that forest. I think we're going to do this. I'm not sure how that 40 is calculated. Going across this way or going... It should be the same, right? Okay, good. It's the same. So who can attack here? Wow, the armor, definitely not. And actually, the infantry is probably... It's probably the infantry that can move north. Yeah. So if I want to do this, and I do... Ah, we did it. Great. So now you have to move in there. There's literally nobody in this hex, but we'll just change that. Oh god. What have I done? Alright, good. So we can get units into that one. I might even move this. I don't think that they're going to do an attack against that guy, and it doesn't really matter even if they do. So now anybody who can move north, we do need to control that. Okay, good. That all worked out. I mean, that was a little dicey, but we got across the bridge that's so... I mean, across the river, that's so important. So everything is fine. I think it's a valuable expenditure of fuel. Again, goal... We want to get over to Odessa. We want to cross this river and take that, like, meaningful bridgeheads across this river before the Soviets fortify, and they will. You'll see them just line up against this river if you let them. So we don't want that to happen. All right, that's probably all we're going to do with the Romanian side. I mean, there's a little more nitpicky attacks we could do. There's 2 normal infantry here, although I do have a 3-side surround. It's across the river. I just don't think it's worth doing. Kind of the same thing here, where they have 2 armored forces, and we technically have 4 infantry, but they're very, very weak infantry. In fact, it's only 3 because this guy has already done an attack somewhere. Even doing an attack against this unit, they have motorized in there, which is pretty powerful. Nobody else is going to assist in that. So no, we're not going to do anything else with the Romanians. Now, there's lots of opportunities to attack things over here, but we're going to ultimately run out of fuel. I mean, 8,000 is probably not enough for what we want to get done. And that was unfortunately a very bad attack for us. We lost at 800 in a normal 3-1 attack. Not off to a good start, but you know, south is always the most difficult thing for me. Let's see. I think we'll try to do this as a... Okay, now, another thing to consider is how do we want to move forces around here? We're basically pushing them with our attacks. Which direction do we want to push people? In my opinion, one of the things we'd really like to do, is get this, the 87th, the 62nd, and the 45th to push them north, out of the way. Basically to the marshes. We don't actually want to trap them there because it's a pain in the ass to get them out. They'll slowly go down in readiness and all that, but they won't ever die. You have to send in some like cav at some point to fish them out, basically. But anyways, I do want to set them up there so that they're not in the way. And the 124th, 135th, and I want this line down just west of Lvov. The few times I played this game and started as Germany, I always remember that south can go all the way around this forest, but it's very difficult to do. And I guess because I'm not going to be, like save scumming or anything like that, I think it's a little too risky for me to try to go for. Yeah, it's basically too risky to risk. So that's the plan I have in my head, is if we can, I'd like something like this to happen. Get 2 down here, 1 up there, and do an attack with 3 people. That should push him to the north. If we win, but I mean, I'm assuming we're going to win. 2,000. I mean, not too bad. Okay, so that's you know, that's what I wanted. Now both of these guys. Oh, this one's so he can move in there. I guess we will. And you can move and do another attack. But you can see that this is beautiful. I don't even care if we attack this guy or not. Frankly, we probably will because it only kind of only makes sense to do it. He's kind of in the way. Do we want to attack him 3 sides? I guess we can. Because he'll just move there. And the weaker he is when he moves in there, the better it is for us. So we'll do the attack. Only 1,400 loss, so didn't inflict that many losses on him. So we'll move in the couple of units who can. Which is actually more than just a couple units. You haven't done any movement, you haven't done it. So both of these guys are free to move, which means we can do something like... Okay, who can attack this unit? Blue. And that's a unit which has already been attacked. So what I think we'll do is just to make sure that that unit goes northeast, we'll attack with both my units from the southwest. Just peeling them back in the direction I want. And I think that's something which isn't obvious the first time I played this game. Is that how you can kind of like... Yeah, you can do it in a way you want. You can get the units to move. And it's kind of important to do that even. So now look at that. We push these guys out of the way. We have this unit... Sorry. Who? You. We have somebody somewhere is in position to attack the 24th from the north. And over here we can attack them from... Ooh. We can actually get 3 sides of attack going here, but I think that we don't need to do that. We'll just do it from 2. You know what? No, I think it is better to always do 3. So let's do the 3. Inflict more casualties, hopefully take less losses. Neither of those things really happen, but that's okay. We're down to 18 readiness, so that's good. And we'll move in. Really no reason not to move in. That one might actually have a reason not to move in, because we might need to hold the forest here. And actually, we've run out of infantry. So that's it. Every other attack that we want to do, if we want to do any other attacks, it's all going to have to be governed by our armor. And that's 8,000 oil we're going to have to go through. Oh, gotta keep taking breaks. It's actually exhausting trying to talk so quickly. And we have one more infantry over here I didn't see, which can assist. I'm kind of banking on the idea that we won't really need our forces for other things. I mean, we won't really need to defend these hexes. I'll have the 17th Army can go and fill in these gaps. Let's just pretend that that's the case. So, how do I want to handle this? I mean, we have armor coming up. I honestly think that the best thing to do... Who can attack right now? Just the blue? Okay. We want 2 divisions to help, I think. Which means I'm probably going to get... I think I'm going to get motorized on the top. And then armor. I think I'm going to get the armor. So we'll do this. So we'll do a 3-sided... I mean, this is a 3-unit attack. Right at the attack limit. Stop taking so many damn losses. Panzer IV, Panzer II. 200 heavy infantry. They're not quite as good as the SS, but they're pretty good. Show the... So, no, they are exactly as good as the SS, I guess. I guess that kind of makes sense too. Okay, and now the name of the game is take this stack and just push in as far as we can go. We'll see how far we can get. 0.2. Do I want a third one? No, I think I will get the SS in there. They're a heavy combat group. Let's get them in the fight. My armors are the Panzer division's the ones that keep taking damage. Another Panzer III's gone. Some half tracks. We did inflict 5,000 casualties. So that was very good. No T-34. It's just kind of a fun game for me to see if I can actually kill any of the T-34s. It's pretty rare that you do. Okay, so all these units can still move in and attack, which is probably what I'm going to do. Alright, they have 1 motorized, which is weakened. This tank is new, so it has not been attacked yet. So that's the one that's holding. We only have 40 and 45, so we only have 4 rounds of combat, basically. That's not a whole lot. Getting in here will be 120. It's the same thing. We'd only have 40 attack strength left. So what I think I'm going to do is this attack will not succeed, unfortunately. But I think we should still do it as a means of following up and hoping that we can just inflict more casualties. So here we go. We're sending our best troops to them. So there it is. We're out of AP. But look at that. We got one who panicked. Who we almost defeated the whole group. And honestly, the HQ is the only thing which really stood up. Everything else was retreating. I don't care if the HQ has action points, has any readiness left. So yeah, this was a very effective attack. 5,800 more Soviets down. No Soviet staff, but again, I mean, hopefully that's just something which is coming. And even though we didn't kill any of them, we did reduce the readiness, which means we're reducing their ability to move back next turn. And that's very important because we expect that there's going to be a big shift east. I think we'll see it, a big exodus. No T-34. Anyway, that was good. I think that was very effective. Unfortunate that we couldn't actually knock him out of here, but this is a very depleted force. Now, the real downside of that is that if we had gotten into this hex, any of these units on the west trying to retreat around us, it would have been a very, very difficult task. There is still a few things we could do. We could move in like both of these panzers to here and attack this armor, hopefully push it back, and then what would happen is, again, we'd be exerting nice zone of control. How many units do they have here? 4, 12. So if we could get these units, then we'd get this one as well, so make that 13. Alright, well, I've done some thinking about it, and I think we are going to proceed with the attack down the corridor here. I don't know if it's the best thing to do. I just think that the most important thing is to make sure that we just trap as many of these forces as possible, because them getting back into a fortified line, you know, in later turns is going to be a very big hassle to deal with. So we're going to go with this. Hopefully 2 panzer divisions are sufficient. It should be. It's just very weak. What do we lose? 2 panzer bars! Oh, Lord! At least we killed this 6 T-34, but my goodness, they hate us. We will move in because we want to exert zone of control down here. Now it's time to just start getting into the big dance, which is a lot of attacks against units over here. Main goal is switch us back, but that was a good attack. Main goal is to lower their readiness, actually. Lower readiness, lower action point. That's what we already know. So move people in. I think there's no reason not to move everybody in, because there's always going to be somebody who can do the attack. Not you. There we go. So we can do the attack with you, and probably just you, because we already have enough attackers. There's only 2 cav. Not that big of a target, so let's save our heavy hitter infantry up in the north for a different target. Very effective. Didn't lose anybody. Took out 2,000 cav. Alright, you guys moving in, you're moving in, you could move in, doesn't really matter if you move in or not. You probably should, but this is the heavy hitter who's still available. So we're going to do another attack, and we'll use you. We'll use... Actually, we're probably going to want to use you as well. And you're probably destined for up here, but let's just see how this goes first. Goodness gracious, how many... Okay, they have 4 units, 2 infantry, which have not yet been attacked. So we probably do need to bring in the big guns for this. Well, we could just do an attack from all and see who that would be. It would be 5 people. I probably will take off one of these folks, though, because we're going to want to do another attack on the south. That keeps us under the attack stack limit. Let's see how it goes. It's 4 on 4, so in some sense it should be fine. Okay, we did definitely take some losses here. Lost 1,000, but they did lose 6,000. 1 to 6, not the ratio I'm looking for. I mean, that sounds crazy that's not good enough, but the expectations are pretty high on the first turn. Okay, good. So now we can do an attack with 3 sides against this unit, just to make sure we're continuing to eliminate as much as possible. We actually, in theory, could do an attack here. I suspect that force would move south, though. If they got pinned in here, that wouldn't be bad, but I don't think that that's what's going to happen. So what I'll do instead is... I think I will protect this road, because nobody else will be able to get there. You can't do any other... Oh, you technically could do an attack, but we'll let those guys move out. Those infantry are probably going to be a bit of a problem in the next turn. One part of me is like, don't attack, because the more you attack, it's true, of course, the more you're pushing them east. But the lower readiness, I think, is more important. Basically, us controlling where they're going versus them controlling where they're going. I find that's works in our advantage. Okay, so I probably should do the attack from here first, then there, and then I just need to see who is... Can we get one more in? No, that's good. So 4 on 3, and this is 2 armored, 1 weakened, and then 1 weakened motorized. We should obliterate them. And it looks like that's more or less what happened. 200 dead for 1800, plus, of course, no T-34s. God forbid we actually destroy one of those guys. I'm going to leave that unit there, too. I mean, I think I'm going to leave that unit there. We'll see where everyone else can get to. So if you move there, you can't move in at all. You can only move there. You have freedom, so I'll probably move you. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to move you here then. And we need somebody to go down here and kind of clear out the mess. We'll get this unit. We'll keep them on the road, but move them all the way up. And you can move all the way up, and you can move all the way up. And that's that. So I think that most of the stuff we want to do in the south is done. I remember that there's also one other thing we should do. Let's probably move this guy in, because this unit does get attacked pretty frequently. We want to make sure we hold there if we are attacked. Here, we need to move these units. I think the best thing for us to do is going to be just push this unit away. So we can... I don't know if we even need to use the motorized. I mean, I'm sure we don't, but we could if we wanted. Oh god, why are we taking so many losses? Another Panzer IV, 3 Panzer IIIs? Jeez, crying out loud. Well, we're going in. We're going to attempt to get to the HQ if we can. Very low fuel left as well. Okay, wow, we just shattered them. That's more like it. So we should be able to move in here. Well, let's actually save one unit because we don't want to move in. I mean, we still have this motorized, but we don't want to, you know, cut ourselves off. Okay, that was actually very good. I mean, not that I'm expecting staff to kill tanks, but I have seen it before. So, you know, it's that old Civilization, the video game joke about a spearman killing a tank. It kind of happens. Anyway, I don't know if we'll want to move forward here. I guess we should. We should move here because we got that for free. So notice 826, still 826 even though we moved. And that means that this motorized is we're gonna need them here. And we're down to 646 fuel, very little left, but I think we're in a good position to end this turn. Yeah, I guess I did forget a couple things. First of all, we do need to push our headquarters up, and I'll probably do that for the 6th Army, but this unit didn't actually get a second attack in, and I think, even though I may not follow up into the Hex, maybe we can shatter them? Okay, they panicked. I mean, whatever the case is, they're going to be weaker for us to take in the next turn, so that's good. Not my favorite part of the game, but at least the Romanian oil fields is a good decision to have to make. I'm not going to read through all of this, so if you want the in-character letters from von Ribbentrop, that's familiar. Antonescu, Wagner, your history of the Ploiești oil fields or Romania, you can look at those, but this is actually the gameplay effect, so it's a good one to look over. Essentially, the first one is a high demand, so we're going to want it quick. We'll get it after 10 turns, but we'll get only 10 turns of oil before it stops. So this is a total of 12,000. I don't know how long the game goes, maybe like 50 turns till the end of the game or so. Nonetheless, the second and third are either 1,000 or 800, and this is after a 15 turn delay, but it'll last us until the end of the game. So I mean, even if it's like 30 turns after, that's still 30,000 compared to 12,000, but there's something to be said about the first one because maybe battle lines become more static and you don't really need to break out as much towards the end of the game. I don't know. I'm pretty partial to doing 1 or 2. Maybe even number 1, but I'm going to stick with 2 just because I like to play the long game. So we were successful. Antonescu's like pissed as hell. That's okay. Screw that guy. Next up is civilian oil allocations. This is another good decision from the perspective that we'll be getting more oil. Let me go through Yodel and Goebbels and civilian oil usage. That's interesting about the tractors needed to be used by farmers after their horses were taken away, so they actually had increased fuel usage. And Goebbels, breakdown, all that stuff. But basically the decision comes down to, do we want more oil or not? And the answer to that is yes, we want more oil. The downside of this is that it does come with a cost sometimes, I guess, not this time, of a morale hit. But we really don't care if Goebbels is upset, and the Fuhrer, okay, we do want Hitler not to dislike us. But we'll definitely take the fact that, I mean, it's only -8, and he, you know, okay, it's not great, but it's not terrible either. He doesn't hate us. Okay, theater allocations, this is a pretty easy one for me. I'm just going to choose nothing. I don't mind the way the allocation is done originally, and choosing anything pisses everyone off, so it's like, just don't. Just don't mess with it. We have one against Goring here. This is kind of interesting, because I technically do want the offensive to end early, but this also helps to keep Soviet units from activating. I really don't, under the hood, know what the effect is, so if you want to read about Goring, or von Brauchitsch, or the Soviet Air Force. So anyways, we do have some options here, and I think that the best option is to either take the second or third option. I'm going to allow them to go on for another 4 days, and I guess nobody cares about that. The third option you can, if you choose that, von Brauchitsch will be a little bit more upset. Now we have security divisions. I really hate these, but what are you going to do? So this is just going to be something which I think in general, this is an opportunity for us to become on better terms with von Lieb, and because we do need that, this is Army Group North. So we'll end up doing this last option, or third option, which allows him more time away, and you can see that von Lieb is pleased. And we need von Lieb to not dislike us, so this is helpful. Lastly, we have the Army Group South, and we're going to do the same thing here. Actually, we really don't need to, we can probably, well, okay, the better the relationship with von Rundstedt, the better, so we'll just do this, and he's pleased, so that's good. Well, that'll do it, and we're really running out of time, so I'll do the actual end turn execution next video, and we'll start off with the history there. I think I'm pretty excited about the way things have gone, especially in center. Overperformed there, I think, but probably underperformed a little in the south to compensate. I never really know how I'm doing in the south. This is a tough one for me. Anyways, until the next video, I hope you're really enjoying this. I think this is a lot of fun. Until the next one, thanks for watching. Stay safe and take care.